If you go back to the 1950s and 1960s and look at business management books, a lot of this was taken from experiences in World War II, experiences in the US military. We built a lot of things with silos and hierarchies. We created in the private sector and in the public sector these systems that were very vertical in their alignment, much like the military is vertical in its alignment. This works really, really well when you're trying to do something efficiently. When you have a plan and you're trying to execute on it, what you want is a vertical structure, right? You want silos of expertise. You want hierarchies of command. You want to be able to pass down an order, take that hill and have it executed down to the very bottom players in that system. This is the way we set up businesses. And the United States, the US, the American model was extremely effective for a couple of decades until it had to innovate. Then all of a sudden we found ourselves losing to the Japanese in automobiles and electronics, missing out on opportunities that others were capturing because we had a really difficult time innovating. Top-down hierarchical systems are really, really efficient for doing the same thing over and over and over. They are really, really hard at change, right? Those silos, those hierarchies really resist change, resist innovation. And so what we see is that the most innovative companies today are what? They're very flat. They have a very flat structure, very team-oriented structure. When we look at government, when we look particularly at local government, we see that silo and hierarchy approach endures to this day. And it makes us often very resistant to change. And it also makes us very sensitive to what I'm just going to call the vertical types of flow. We're very sensitive to the program that the federal government has that we can tap into. We're very sensitive to the program that the state government has that we can get money from. We're very sensitive to outside developers coming into our community and resources that they can bring to bear. We're very sensitive to the nuances of the bond market and what it takes to borrow money and put that capital to work in our communities. If you go to any city hall today, you will find numerous people who are working on grant applications, working on loan applications, working on these large vertical projects. And you will find that often our meetings are dominated by discussions based around these flows, right? In my community, we've had this obsession with a children's museum. You would think that based on the amount we've talked about children's museums, that this was somehow going to, not just make our kids all above average, but, cure cancer and solve world peace and do all these things. Children's museums are the solution for everything. Why are we so obsessed with children's museums? Well, we're obsessed with children's museums because there's a grant at the state to build a children's museum. And so all of a sudden now that is something that this vertical system can execute on, and it becomes the thing we focus on. We need government to innovate. We need local government to innovate. And because we need that level of innovation, because we're not just going to repeat the post-World War II development pattern over and over and over and over again and experience some different kind of outcome, some different kind of success. There isn't a better way to do it. We've already perfected it. We've done it great. It doesn't work. If we want to do something different, we actually have to get our orientation away from the vertical and to the horizontal.